already specified that she considered adoption and abortion, so I feel like this is cumulative and not relevant.
I believe it's relevant because this demonstrates that this was not a single emotional heat-of-the-moment statement by mother. These were carefully considered emails over a number of days, and these, in fact, are business records that were copied to both parties, as the exhibit reflects.
Your Honor, I don't believe there is testimony regarding the days. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Reed.
Sorry. I was just responding to the comment about the time. There was no testimony regarding the days by which these emails were covered. There was no foundation on the time period and who they were between.
Your Honor, the exhibit itself all reflects the dates and times of the various communications. If the court would prefer for the record that I go back and have my client identify the spots on those various pages where the dates and the times and the inclusion of both parties is reflected, I can certainly do that.
Let me ask this, because I can't tell from looking at the exhibit. Was mother copied on all of these documents? Or were they just...
Yes, and I can have my client point out which is her communication on here.
And these are responding to communications that had occurred from mother to agency and father to agency, correct?
That's correct. But like I said, I can have my client identify for you which is his email or account and which is mother's, if that would be helpful.
Yeah, that would be helpful because I couldn't tell just by looking at the document.
Okay, so look at the top of page 1 of Exhibit D, above the first message that's on that page. The message starting with the words, "Hello, Hing," was that one directed only to you, or was it directed to anyone else?
In the first page, up 在我们的第一页的这一页的上面，上半部分是直接发给我的邮件，没有其他人。D证据第一页的上半部分，是 agent 发给我的邮件，上半部分。Oh, I'm sorry. Can we wait a minute? I just noticed that's a forward message. 所以在 D 证据页的第一页，这个 forward message 事实上是由这个 agent forward 这个邮件给我，然后他 forward 的这份邮件呢，事实上是有郑爽女士在里面的。你们可以看见证据第一页 Q 这个地方0822代表的就是郑爽。Too many words. 所以说是 agent forward 给我的。
So, the first page of D, that's here, actually are forwarded. If you look at that down to the middle of the section there, there is 0822, and that was from the email to the agent, and the agent forwarded that email to the agent.
And then turning back to page 2, Exhibit D, toward the middle of the page, the one that's on Wednesday, October 9th at 12:59 a.m., is that also Shang's message, given that it's the 1823?
And this one is from Shang.
Okay, so this is a page. Is it page 2?
Page 2, Exhibit D.
Okay, Exhibit C, page 2.
Are we on D?
D, yes, Exhibit C, page 2, the middle section there. Okay, so you can say 2, column, 0822, that is the 正状.
Okay.
And also the message here says, hi, thanks for your help. And the parent should only go to one person. Is this right? For example, blah, blah. That's the message from Shang too.
Okay, so the first message say hi, and then following, this is a message from Central.
Okay. And then below that,
Can you say it one more time? So the first message is from, and then,
Mother.
yes, and then the second is the response.
The second was a forward message, right? From
the agency.
Let me explain this part. I think you have some misunderstanding for this part.
okay. Can I, Your Honor, if I could ask a question,
Please.
that I hope will clarify things. So, Hing, am I correct that in any of these headings, if there is any of the included individuals where it starts with 0822, or it has 182-364-8453 at gg.com, it is that, or qq.com, sorry, it is that mother, Shang?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a mother.
Okay. So on page 2, both of those messages, one of them she wrote, and one of them was directed to her. Isn't that correct? Okay. And on page 3, the only message that starts on that page, isn't that one also initiated by Shang?
Yes.
Okay. And on page 4 of Exhibit D, in the people who are included in that 2 line, isn't Shong one of those people who is listed? Exhibit D, page 4 at the top.
Yes.
Okay? And on Exhibit D, page 5, there's a message that starts about the middle of the page. Isn't that directed to Shong?
Yes.
Okay? And on Exhibit D, page 6, that might be a duplication of one of the earlier messages. Isn't that one, the one that starts toward the bottom of the page? Isn't that directed from Shong?
Yes.
Okay?
I think I've got it, yes. Yeah,
All right.
I'm going to overrule the objection. I'm going to admit Exhibit D. I actually think these statements are admissions by party opponent and not hearsay. Go ahead, Ms. Hogan. And Exhibit E?
Okay, Exhibit E. I think we're going to have to go through the same exercise. So,
Well, I guess I'll just take notice if it's got the same email that we've said.
Yep.
0822, right?
I would ask the court to take judicial notice that the face of the exhibit reflects that mother was included in all of the communications in Exhibit E. And on that basis, I would move for its admission as well.
Yeah. Any record you want to take, Mr.
Yeah, just briefly, Your Honor, there's one email at the bottom of Exhibit E, page 1. It looks like, I don't think it's clear that mother was attached to that email starting on Monday, October 21st, 2019. So I just want to make the record clear.
Yes, the very bottom of page 1, it just says your officer, and it's unclear, but that's father's own email.
That's father's own inquiry.
Right.
But the response to that inquiry was directed to both parties.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and admit Exhibit E as well.
Okay.
And thank you. I just wanted to make sure we had all the exhibits that need to be admitted into evidence. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. At the time that your relationship with Shong ended, did you know the specific addresses or locations of the hospitals where each of the surrogates was directed to